Hi, Kelly Eckholt here to update you on the key events of the week. It's a pretty busy week this week with some important economic data as well as the government's pre-election fiscal update. So let's get into the data. The first thing I'll mention is that international travel for August was again pretty strong, confirming that tourists are returning to New Zealand. Got an extra bump there in August due to that FIFA World Cup, and that means that that tourism sector is very much a strong point in the economy right now. Bigger data though was with respect to international migration, which is a real bumper result. We had 96,000 people enter the country from overseas in the last 12 months. That's a bit ahead of our forecasts of a peak of 90,000 people, and it basically means that we now think that it's likely that migration is going to peak in the 105 to 110,000 range later this year, which will be a record result. So that's extra supply of labour into the economy, which is good news for businesses. It's also extra demand for the economy as well. So where's that demand being reflected? Well, this week we got house prices, which went up 0.9% for the month. That was a bit ahead of our expectations and basically suggests that house prices are running pretty close to the relatively strong levels we expected to be occurring next year as opposed to this year. The other thing that we saw is rents, which also were very strong this week, particularly in centres like Auckland, Christchurch and down in central Otago. But pretty much I'll be honest with you to say that rents are running pretty strongly everywhere right now, and that reflects that strong population growth we're seeing from migration. So what's the bottom line of all of this for the economy? Well, basically we've got some strong economic data there, which is helpful given some of the negative data that's been recently, but there's also some signs of stronger inflation pressures. Now, particularly those house prices and rents, which really need to moderate if the Reserve Bank wants to hit that inflation target next year. The last thing I'll mention is the preview, which confirmed that the fiscal books are a little bit worse than expected a few months ago. Basically, Treasury now doesn't see a surplus until 2027, and that's even based off their relatively optimistic assumptions in our view. I'll be back again to talk to you about things next week.